The people that want to enforce orthodoxy and want to stifle dissent, they only do that because they know their ideas cannot stand scrutiny. They know that if people are able to speak their mind, that people will reject these phony narratives that they're always trying to shove down our throats.
Oh, I love projection. Ron DeSantis sure knows how to deliver it, talking about those who stifle dissent do so because they know that their ideas are bad and aren't popular. Well, let's go to Florida and see what's going on right there. There's going to be this big abortion rights ballot measure that Donald Trump maybe voted for. He doesn't want to say for some reason. But anyway, the reason that it has a good chance of passing is the right has tried for more than a half century to convince people that abortion should not be a right that people have. They've failed at every step to do that, and they know that. And so they got their buddies, their bought buddies in the Supreme Court to kill Roe v. Wade. But when you ask the people, even in red states, they don't side with the radical right wingers. And so they're super worried about this abortion rights ballot measure.
A storm is tearing up the digital media industry. Only our audience can save us in these difficult times. Help us reach our goal of 100,000 new members at tyt.com/team.
So worried that they are literally questioning people who signed a petition so that we could have this ballot measure. They are sending out cops to question people about whether they signed it or not. And so we want to go to the examples of a few of these. So Isaac Menash is one of the voters that was visited by the election police. Said he was surprised when a plainclothes police officer twice asked if it was really him who'd signed the petition. The officer said he was looking into potential petition fraud, which is, you know, what cops do. Says, quote, "I'm not a person who's going out there protesting for abortion. I just felt strongly and I took the opportunity when the person asked me to say, yeah, I'll sign that petition." And he probably didn't put any more thought into it than that, because why would you? We don't generally think when we're stopped outside of a Target to sign something that there's gonna be Gestapo knocking on our door someday. But yeah, since last week, DeSantis' Secretary of State has ordered election supervisors in at least 4 counties to send to the state capitol at least 36,000 petition forms that have already been deemed to have been signed by real people. So they are so worried about this thing that they're trying to scare people who've signed it, maybe to get them to recant, maybe to stop them from ever approving a ballot measure in the future. And they're taking tens of thousands of petitions that have already been demonstrated to be fine, to be fair, to be true, and they're sending them for a second look, perhaps to disqualify the ballot measure. And in the words of Ron DeSantis, if you're trying to, like quash dissent, maybe it's not the dissent that's the problem. Maybe it's your lack of confidence in your ability to deliver your message. But what do you think, Francesca?
Yeah, this is a huge story because this is utterly terrifying. We know that whenever there's a ballot measure, the opposition, usually it's big money. In this case, it's the far right, the theocrats who want to make women second-class citizens. They'll always try to undermine the petitions and the signatures and the addresses, and they'll look through that. That happens every single time. But this is next level. Having officers that as presumptively taxpayers in Florida are paying for to visit your home to question you. I mean, when we say things can get worse under a Trumpian or a far right presidency or leadership, this is what we mean. We mean Florida under Ron DeSantis, where people are being questioned for exercising their democratic right. That is exactly what this is. This is a right afforded to them, and now they are being threatened and they're being, yes, menaced by trying to exercise that right. They're not even in the streets demonstrating, as he says. Forget about that. It's there's license to run people over with cars in Florida. In fact, there's major restrictions again around protesting in that state right now. So again, it feels like Democrats and Republicans on a lot of issues are far too similar. But when it comes to this kind of, you said it, Gestapo-like behavior, this is where the right wants to go, not just in Florida, but in around this country when it comes to people actually standing up to exercise their rights. It's terrifying, and I can't believe it's being carried out by such a little whiny bitch.
Okay, that should be the end of the cliff. It's a great ending, perfectly delivered. But yeah, it's Someone in the comments was like, Florida isn't free, and they're not. They hear the word freedom more than maybe in any other state other than Texas, but no, not free, not over your own life. The government is free to repress people that they've trained you to hate. You get a little bit of that sort of freedom or whatever. But how is this freedom? And they are spending money. They launched a website, by the way. This is state resources. Florida is protecting life. Don't let the fear mongers lie to you. Is this Gilead? Why is this a thing? This is for the people now. They're gonna vote. Regular people. And I know, don't even worry, because it's Florida. If they don't like the way it goes, they could probably not make it happen anyway. But like getting so involved. Are you a priest? Are you a bishop? What is going on right now? Anyway, and again, remember, he set up this election police unit. And before they were sending cops to your door, they were investigating, we're gonna find election fraud. They found 20 voter fraud cases. A lot of it Republicans. Remember, in the villages or whatever it's called, a bunch of Republicans were found to have committed voter fraud. Not enough in any of these cases to have had any effect whatsoever on elections. It's utterly irrelevant voter fraud, but that's what they're spending millions of dollars on. And meanwhile, by the way, in Texas, they're suing for access to records of women seeking out-of-state abortions. Because again, it is not enough that you're not free in their state. You don't get to be free anywhere. You think that you're like a person, you can go to civilization and have rights? No. If you live here, there's no respite for you. There's no sanctuary. When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?